Hello, and welcome to Frequency Fluidity with Jessie. Hey, that's me. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about shame, and talk about how it can affect your life and can affect your healing journey. So, shame. So, there were several titles that I tried to come up with, like "Shame Sucks" or "Surviving Shame." But I really went with surpassing shame because it's not something you survive because it's not yours. That shame is not yours. It is for those people who did us wrong when we were children. That shame is not yours to carry. So we're not surviving it, we're surpassing it. Okay. So, what is shame? Shame is a painful, self conscious emotion driven by a belief that you have failed to live up to some personal or societal standard. For me, shame happened because I was essayed as a child. And so I want to talk a little bit about what happens before shame, because I want to talk about how we get there. So I want to talk a little bit about grooming. And grooming is introducing sexual situations to children. This can be, in my instance, having those types of movies on and me accidentally walking in, coming into my room in the middle of the night and accidentally forgetting to wear a robe. These were, sitting on the couch in very loose shorts with no underwear on, with all of your business showing. All of those I've come to recognize were ways to put me into situations that then escalated to the next step, which was the touching. And by the time he got to the touching, I had already kind of been in that mindset, right? Because I had been introduced to those things. And then after the touching, that's when the shame begins, because you don't understand the feelings that come with it, but you know it's wrong. You know it doesn't feel right. You know it doesn't feel good. And then somebody who's important in your life starts saying things like, well, you know what would happen to our family if you ever said anything about this, or you don't want to make people unhappy, or this will be our little secret, or only you can do this for me, nobody else. How do you not feel shame? How do you not bottle it up inside and hold on to it like it's your own for years and years and years? You're set up for that. When somebody emotionally manipulates you and introduces shame into your life, it can affect everything. So let's talk about some warning signs that might have been missed. I have found one of the big things that I have found with SA survivors is a difficult time with self-care, especially taking a shower. And I want to talk about why I think that is. Bathroom has a lock. In a lot of our homes, it was the only room that had a lock. And a lot of trauma occurred in bathrooms. A lot of my trauma occurred in bathrooms. And as such, I've fought lifelong to be in that vulnerable state and be okay with it. One of the many lovely side effects of these types of things. Hey there, future Jessie coming to talk to you. Audio is probably going to be horrible as I'm currently sitting here in the parking lot. My mom is having surgery, and so I'm sitting out here waiting for word. She's having her second hip replaced. And this is how I use action as a distraction. Last night I cleaned the pantry, but today I'm going to go ahead and record something that I forgot to put in. So I realized as I was looking back through the video, I only talked about one warning sign, and I think it's because I don't think I got triggered, but I think that I got a little discombobulated. And so I wanted to talk about a couple of other warning signs and also ask you to drop any that you have seen in the comments, just so that we can be aware as a society if you see these things. So for me, like I told you, I stopped taking care of myself. My hair was greasy. I purposely was trying to look as unattractive as I possibly could. I began to turn to food. Once again, with the initial thought that I could make myself unattractive. And then it kind of became everything. Comfort, solace, peace, mindless. Like, it became a lot. That's one of the big ways I feel like my weight issues began. Another thing for me is, so I always was good academically. I didn't struggle a whole lot. But I did withdraw. And I was already a reader, but that was the time that I began to live in books. I began to immerse myself into stories and different realities. So, and let's see what else. I also became a people pleaser, an extreme people pleaser. And then somehow down the line, I became the scapegoat too for just about everything that happened in the world. But yeah, action is a distraction in real live time. This is how I try to use it in an effective manner. I find something that I haven't done and then I tackle it. So anyway, have a good one. So we've talked about grooming. We've talked about the incident occurring. We've talked about the shame that comes with it. Now I want to talk about what happens when you finally tell. After you tell, the shame is different because now other people know your secret and they might want to ask questions about it. Or you may have people in your life who gaslight you and tell you that it didn't happen or that it was a dream. Because that's what I want to be dreaming about. And then you start to not quite believe what you're telling yourself. And did I dream it? Was it this way? You see how uncomfortable the adults are around you. And you see that you're the one making them uncomfortable. So what do? You mask. You don't talk about it. You hold it in. It spills over into your adult life. You're still holding on to it. It's still there, ever present. Because nobody has created a situation where it's safe enough for you to talk about it. So, what are the things that I found? Nobody wants to talk about it. There was not a environment created that encouraged difficult conversations. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like I was in such a poor position and why it led to some of the choices that I made. I lost my virginity willingly at 13. What? What? I got into a full ass long-term relationship at 15. What? And I thought I was so grown, and all I was doing was trying to please men. Because that's what my grooming taught me. And that's what my shame taught me. That was all I was good for. Was to make men happy. So, what are my suggestions for how to handle this in your life? Because I'm sorry to say that it happens more frequently than it doesn't. So, one of the reasons that I really encourage reading to your kids at night is because it provides them an opportunity to talk about things. And instead of just asking questions about like, how was your day? Right? Ask questions that are designed to create an atmosphere where all things are okay to talk about. What was something you were proud of today? Did you have any challenges that you faced today? Was there anything that made you uncomfortable today? Was there something that was super exciting that happened today? Conversation, providing children with an opportunity to tell you. So, my book today is called Say Something. Now, this book does not address essay or anything related to it. But what it does do, but this is by Peter Reynolds. And what it does do is encourage your child to use their voice. And, if you see an empty canvas, say something with your brush. If you see somebody being hurt, say something by being brave. Hey, stop, right? I don't think I was encouraged to use my voice when I was young. And I think that there was kind of a feeling of if you were a child, that was just the way it is. But that's not how our children need to be raised. They need to be raised in a way that validates them as human beings. And say something shows them that it's okay. And if it's okay to say something about one thing, it's going to make them more comfortable to say something that makes them uncomfortable. I mean, think about it when they become a teenager, right? When they're put in a position that makes them uncomfortable, who do you want them to call? Who do you want that phone call to be to? Where do you want your children learning information about sex? Do you want it from their friends? Do you want it from the school? Where do you want your children to get information? Because I guarantee it's out there everywhere. Okay. I'm also going to recommend some books for adults this episode because when I was going through my journey, Brene Brown wrote several books. I can't find the one that I really want to talk about, which is called Daring Greatly. And while this book is mostly about vulnerability, it also talks about how shame affects our vulnerability and our ability to be vulnerable and how that can affect our relationships. Okay. So, for my lyrical link today, I want to talk about a song called 29 by Demi Lovato. This song chronicles a relationship that she started when she was 17, but there are several lines in there that are relevant that like really hit me. Numbers told you not to, but that didn't stop you. I mean, enough said, right? Literally. Had me in your grip, went beautifully with all my daddy issues, and this shit continues. Man, if you don't deal with your shit, it just continues on and on. You find yourself making the same poor choices over and over again. Address your shame. Recognize that it's not yours. It belongs to those who took something from you. Find a way to reconcile it. Work on it. There are Brene Brown has I think it's called the imperfect soul or something like that. It has tons of strategies. Brene Brown, look her up. She does great work on shame research, and her books were very impactful for my healing journey. One thing that I keep forgetting to say is that if you have a lyrical link or if you have a literature link, I would love for you to drop it down below because I want to hear like what helps you get through or what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about shame? What do you think about shame in children and how that should be addressed? I would love to hear your thoughts about that. So, until next time, always remember that you have the courage to be brave and the ability to heal. Peace.